Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a bit different because I never really uploaded videos on the championship and I don't really know much about the league. But today we're going to be giving our championship predictions. The league is starting very, very soon, a few days' time. So, obviously, got to make your predictions. If you want to do them soon. So, when it comes to the championship, my ball knowledge is definitely not there. I'm definitely not a championship guy. I'm not a championship nerd. I don't know much about a lot of these teams. All I can say is that I know enough about them to make predictions, and I think these predictions are pretty strong. But obviously, it might be unpopular. So bottom of the league, I have Derby. This is one thing I do know about Derby's situation is appalling. Rooney, even Wayne Rooney. I mean, I don't know what's going on with him. Will he stay at Derby? Will he go? He's involved in a lot of controversy. He just injured one of their players for 12 weeks. They brought in like Jagielka and Ravel Orson, maybe Jack Wilshere. That just looks like a bunch of disinterested players who are available on a free. Their team is not good. They're done for. Derby's going down. 23rd, I have Hull. I think Hull have really not really done anything when it comes to transfers. I think they've not really strengthened their squad from the League One. And we've seen before, Hull, just not great, are they? They've gone down before, and I think they're going to go down again. 22nd, I have Blackpool, because I think Blackpool can put up a better fight. They've just signed a couple days ago Tyrese John Jules from Arsenal. And they brought in Bowler as well. It's not really been that strong of a window, but I think Blackpool has a good team spirit, and I think they'll just get relegated. But better than Hull and Derby. 21st, I have Huddersfield. I really do not know what's going on at Huddersfield, but they seem to just keep they just seem to keep on regressing, and I think they're going to regress again. One place down. Last season they got 20th. This season I'm going to say 21st. Narrowly avoid relegation. 20th, I have Bristol City. I think that Bristol City really, really, really are kind of poor, to be honest. I don't think that they've really done much in the window. I just do not see what Bristol City can offer to bring to the table. Maybe I'm being stupid. Maybe they have done really good business, but I haven't really seen it from them. So yeah, 20th Bristol City. 19th, I have Millwall. I think this is going to be a huge drop off from last season. I do not know how Millwall keep on performing so well, but I think this is going to be a worse season. They're going to finish 19th. Going to be a bit of a drop off. I'll say that much. Then in 18th, I have Peterborough. I think they're going to be easily the best of the new. The best of the newly promoted teams, Peterborough. I really think that their team is pretty good, and I think that Peterborough are a well-oiled team. So there you go. Now Stoke City, I have them 17th. I think that Stoke are an interesting team. I think that they're really kind of getting worse. To be honest, they've lost Nathan Collins and Etebo to Watford and Burnley, respectively. And I think that Stoke are just going to suffer a little bit if they're 17th. Now, 16th, I have Luton. I think Luton really, really, really doing well for themselves, to be honest. I think they're going to keep on improving. I think that Luton Town are going to keep on improving. But this season, I think they're going to go a little bit down. But I do think they're going to be a championship mainstay for a few years if they keep this going, because they're really doing well for themselves. I think it's going to be a slight drop-off of the second season syndrome, but I still think that they're going to be able to survive comfortably. Now, 15th, Blackburn finished 15th last season, and I have them in the exact same spot. Hasn't been much going on at Blackburn this season, and I think they're a well-run team, and I think Adam Armstrong, if he stays, will be able to keep them up with ease and finish in the same spot. Now Coventry, that's who I have in my 14th. Now Coventry last season, they got 16th. I think they're going to go up a couple places. I think Coventry, another team who are new to the league and are doing very well for themselves. Pretty sure they've brought in the likes of Simon Moore and Ian Matson and Ben Sheaf as well from Arsenal, and Waghorn from Derby, who was a big part of Derby last season, in that last game of the season, which helped them stay up. So all in all, 14th for Coventry, up to 2. I think their team they're building, 100% building. Borough is who I have in 13th. They finished 10th last season, but with Borough, you never really know, do you? You never really know, to be honest, how they're going to do. Because they're very meh for championship, mid-table, ever since they got relegated. And I think that's going to continue. I think it's going to be more just mid-table. I don't really think they've done much business, to be honest. They've brought in Peltier from West Brom and Sammy Amiobi from Forest. That's about it. And they got rid of Fletcher and Mendes Lang and all done. And all in all, 13th, a little bit of a drop off from last season. 12th, I have Preston. They finished 13th last season. I have them 12th this season. Because, well, Preston are just there, basically, a mid-table club. I mean, they sometimes start off the season really well, make you think, oh, Preston's going to go on a run this season, surprisingly, but then they always drop off from what I've noticed. And I think they're going to do the same thing mid-table this year. Reading is who I have in 11th. Now, last season, they barely missed out on playoffs. This season, not gonna barely miss out. They're going to drop off. They've lost Omar Richards. They've lost Michael Elise, two of the key factors in their playoff push last season. I think they're going to still finish 11th, which is pretty good. Reading's team is pretty solid, to be honest. They've got a solid team, other than the fact that they've lost two of their main assets in Elise and Richards. Their team has been pretty good. The only issue I see with Reading is the fact they haven't really brought anybody in to replace Elise and to replace Omar Richards, and that's something that really could affect them. Now, in 10th is QPR. To be honest, I'm surprised at how good QPR have been doing. They're a well-oiled team, to be honest. I have them down 1 from last season. They were 9th last year. I think they're going to finish 10th. But to be honest, that's good for QPR. Because their team it's just not amazing. I mean, okay, let's see what QPR have done. They've actually done pretty well in the transfer market this season. They have brought in Jimmy Dunn from Burnley. That's a great signing. Sam Field is a pretty decent. Stefan Johansson. And Charlie Austin's back at QPR. I mean, when I look at this QPR team, I see a team that potentially can actually make playoffs. I mean, they've done the business, and they've finished well last season. I just have them 10th because I think there's a few teams up there who are going to be able to do better. Unlike Sheffield. They're my 9th place team. I know they haven't done much, but this is Sheffield United. I mean, they're even without Wilder, they still have that kind of system with Sheffield United, where I can see them getting playoffs. But to be honest, the fact they haven't really done much in the transfer market is a bit worrying. So I think Daniel Jebison is going to have a breakout year in the championship, to be honest. 9th place for Sheffield. They're going to be disappointing. And for a lot of Sheffield fans, it's going to be disappointing. Sheffield United, obviously. Wednesday got relegated, so. Cardiff, I have them staying 8th. I think Cardiff, really, going to miss out on playoffs barely again. Because Cardiff's team is not really changing, to be honest. They've brought in McGuinness from Arsenal, and James Collins is a good signing, but when I look at this team, I don't see much. But I do see a well-drilled team who did well last season and haven't really improved their team that much. Kiefer Moore is going to be huge if Cardiff want to get playoffs. 8th place, though, I could see them getting playoffs. 7th, I have Birmingham. I think Birmingham have done incredibly. With the amount of signings they've made, Birmingham 100%. I don't have them in the playoffs, but 100% they could get playoffs. Their team is improving. They're really bringing in players. I mean, they brought in who they bring in? Deion Sanderson, Juan Familia Castillo, Riley McGree is already at the club, to be fair. Fran Villalba, I don't really know much about him, but he seems like a good player. For Taith Chung is a really promising signing. Chuck Zaneke. I mean, yes, Mikel San Jose left. Okay, John Torrell, but did San Jose really do much? No, he didn't. Birmingham's not going to make playoffs, but they're going to just miss out. 6th, I have Barnsley. I think Barnsley are going to go down one this season. I mean, look, they've lost a few players, obviously. Alex Mowat. Daryl DK went back to Orlando. But I think this team is always going to be just this solid unit. Valorant Ismail has also left, but I think the ways Barnsley is run, and I think the business they have done, they've also lost Ritzmaier, obviously, but not that big of a deal. The business they have done, it's the business of a good team. Now, they also lost Connor Chaplin, who was a great asset, I think, to the team. But hear me out. I think this team is always going to do well. Marcus Schupp is the manager now. They just lost 4-0 in preseason to City, but when they've played teams that aren't like Man City, who are really good, they've done well, and they've made signings. Albiolare's goal-scoring record is not that great. I don't know how good he'll actually be. But Devontae Cole, bringing him back, familiar face, smart. Josh Benson, I think he'll be a solid midfielder for the championship. I think he will. I think he'll have a good season this season. And I think their team just remain. Keeping the core with Anderson and Hellick is going to be big for them. Keeping those two center backs would be huge. So, 6th place, Barnsley, my first playoff team. My second playoff team, 5th place, Forest. Nottingham Forest. Now, this might come as a shock. Nottingham Forest 5th, especially after the last season where they finished 17th. Now, hear me out. Forest ended last season pretty poorly. But before that, they went on a good run. I mean, they were beating QPR, Cardiff, drawing against Brentford, Reading. I mean, listen, the inconsistency last season could hurt them. But I think I'm going to take a punt and say that Nottingham Forest is going to have a big season. And I think they're going to go up through the playoffs. I think Forest is going to be a Prem team next season. Watch this space. Ethan Horvath, big signing in goal. Big signing in goal. If you watched him as an American fan, you know how good this guy is. Just saying. I mean, they brought in Cafu. Oh, wow. But, yeah, I think Forest is going to win the league. I mean, not win the league, but win the playoffs. 4th, I have West Brom. I do not think West Brom's going to go back up. That could be a bold prediction, because West Brom's just a well-drilled team, aren't they? But, to be honest, with Alrenis Malik, they could go up. But their team is, it's okay. We're bringing in Alex Mode as well. But I just think they're losing too many players, and I do not think that West Brom's going to go back up. And Swansea, I have in 3rd. I don't think they're going to go up either. They missed out last season. Missing out could really affect them. I don't think it will. I think they're going to kind of improve in the league table, but I do not think they're going to go back up. I mean, who have they brought in, really? Joel Perreault. Don't really know much about him. That's about it. 2nd, now we have the automatic teams. Now, if you've been thinking in your head, you'd know who these teams are already. 2nd, I have Bournemouth. I think this is Bournemouth's year to go back up to the Prem. Let me explain. Who's their new manager? I believe it's Scott Parker, isn't it? That's a good manager for the championship. He's going to take them up. Scott Parker is going to take up Bournemouth to the Prem. Now, Leif Davis was brought in. Emiliano Marcondes was brought in. 2 players who can do very well in the Championship. Now, the loss of Diego Rico could affect him, but I don't think so. Leif Davis will be able to replace him. Emiliano Marcondes will do well to help the team. So Bournemouth is going up. Along with Fulham, who are going to win the league. They've lost Scott Parker, yes. But Fulham brought in Marco Silva. Solid championship manager. Not so sure about the Prem, but solid championship manager. And with that, they've brought in Gazzaniga. They've brought in Harry Wilson. Fabio Carvalho's arrived again. They've gotten rid of the likes of Bettinelli, Stefan Johansson, Kevin McDonald. Not really that big of a deal. They've kept the core of this team. Gazzaniga's going to be a good goalie. Yes, they lost Ariola. Look at this team. They've got Gazzaniga, Adara Bayo, Michael Hector is going to be solid in the Championship. Tim Ream probably solid in the Championship. Anthony Robinson will be amazing for them along with Joe Bryan. Kenny Tete has somehow managed to stay at Fulham. Samu Anguissa as well. Harrison Reed, a brilliant player last season, one of their brightest assets. Bobby Decordova-Reed is going to be great. You see what I mean here with Ivan Cavallero as well. And Mitrovic is always the goal machine in the Championship. Fulham always tend to find a way to go back up, and this team is 100% strong enough to go up to the Prem. So, with that being said, my 3 relegated teams, if you need reminding: Derby in last, Hull 23rd, Blackpool 22nd, and my 3 promoted teams, Fulham, Bournemouth, and Forest. Bold predictions, but given how unpredictable the Championship is, you can never really say if a prediction is bold in the Championship. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I will catch you guys in a bit. Prem predictions coming soon. Peace.